for some boom, baby, boom, rise and shine as a shiny sunrise, little baby blue skies. And I am leaving Vietnam in 1 week, less than a week actually, 6 days to go. It's time for a change. Your boy Marky Saint got sick of going and doing the same thing, eating at the same places, and going up and down this alleyway every day. And sure, I made some friends, and sure, the food is cheap, but I just prefer Thailand, man. I'm always there every November. I bumped up my schedule a week ahead of time. I already had tickets ready to go for December 18th, but I think I would go crazy doing the same thing. And that's why it's time to change. We all have to hit this sometimes and rearrange our lives so that way it has some motion and we put some emotion behind the motion. So let's go leg out Saints Addiction. Let's do some morning motivation. Shall we? Yes, bless. So yeah, got invited out by this little hottie German chick that I met 2 years ago who wants to do a bunch of photo shoots and let me stay with her in her nice bungalows. And I was just like, you know what? It's time to go, bro. I'm doing this almost every morning. You can watch it. Coming out here looking at my, the swimming pool. And yeah, I stay here and it's cool. I'm paid up to the 22nd of November, but I'm flying out on the 18th. That's time to... Or the 20th, I'm sorry. I'm flying out the 20th, 2 days before my rent is due, because I don't want to stay here any longer, bro. I'm sick of being in the alleyway. I'm sick of just going left or right. I've been stuck on Long Beach this whole fucking time, nowhere to go but here, and it was just like, it's time to go. I got an opportunity to do a whole photo shoot with a model, stay at a different island, and get back to where my heart's at. You got to be nice with your heart, because that's where we seek it out, right? Eventually we seek out with our hearts what makes us happy. It doesn't matter if it's a long distance ticket, you want to buy a flight ticket with somebody and you want a red eye and meet up with them, you're going to end up doing that. And my friend here, Miles, he's almost done with the website, but he doesn't need me over his shoulder every morning looking at him, like, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? I need to be done yet. I'm done with being here. I booked the ticket. It cost me $77 to book it for the 18th. Well, it cost me another $77 to book it for 1 week. And I was just like, you know what? I might as well go now. I'm going to miss all these opportunities to be there earlier, enjoying more of my time in Thailand, meeting up with my friends from Germany. I got some other friends that are coming later. And I just want to make sure that I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Let's bless up to that. Join We Club, baby. Yes, bless. That's what it is. I think we, as creatures of comfort, we get into a system and we make sure that it works for us, right? So if we know that it's going to work for us with the coffee in the morning, we'll seek it out. Just like me having my weed, we'll seek out our dopamine pathways in our brain to end up repeating some of the same cycle. And that's what it's time for a change, We aren't supposed to be in the same place every day. And I can imagine this place is nice, but I couldn't imagine living here my whole life, months on end. I need new to begin. New excitement, new destinations. Getting back to my friends and my circle of influence, I just feel more alive, and I love my life, more when I'm over in Thailand. Yeah, sure, it's a little bit more expensive in the food, both are cheap, both are friendly, but I think Thailand's just a little bit more cleaner. The island's more natural. Big old mountains and beautiful beaches. I go on this beach and they got a pipe going directly from the street and people are bathing in it. And there's so much plastic and nobody's taking care of anything. It just kind of gets to me. And sure, I could stay here another month, but I'd rather burn the $77, meet up with a model, get the photo shoot that I want to do. I've been handing out stickers left, right, and straight yesterday. I must have handed out to 6 hot chicks, and one Russian chick was like, why you give me this? And I was like, because you smiled. She's like, I have everything. I have followers. I was like, well, what's your page? Oh, no, I won't share this. And I was like, man, that's an antithesis. This is why your people never smile. And she said, why do you care? And I said, yeah, because life is short. And she's like, good for you. And I was just like, it's so uncool, you know? And she's like, what if I don't take the picture? And I said, you basically can throw away the plastic. It's just a sticker. You know, look at this little hottie coming up in her little wanting to know what to do. You know, I just was like, you know, some people aren't cool. You know, you go up to the Russian people, they don't smile. They walk around. I was talking literally to another Russian chick at the fucking beach, and she was all being cool. She spoke a little bit of English. She had lived in America, and she's like, yeah, Russian people don't smile. I said, Americans are always smiling, huh? She's like, yes, it's so friendly. I'm like, life's too short to be grumpy, just sitting here. And it's just like, life is meant to be lived and smiled about, you know what I mean, and enjoyed. And people are just going to be grumpy. What's the point of living, you know? I just don't get it. She got it. She was chilling with me. I gave her a sticker. She was friendly, you know? That's what it takes, you know? When I walked up the street, I must have said hi to 3 people. She's like, oh, you're very popular. And I'm like, that's what happens, Russia, when you're actually smiling at people. This is what happens when you're actually social and you're friendly with people. If you're always giving people your resting bitch face, no one's ever gonna fucking want to be near you. Nobody wants to be around your misery. Misery loves company, but nobody wants to be company to misery. You know what I mean? And that's when you have to adjust yourself, you know? What the one girl say to me? I'm not gonna change to make you feel comfortable. Well, don't make people feel comfortable. See how that goes. If you make people feel like they don't want to be around you, then they're not gonna want to be around you. Tonight's birthday. We're gonna buy her a cake. We're gonna go down to the bar, blow up some balloons, and make her feel special. And my mom's birthday's tomorrow, so I get to call her. And yeah, make these things happen. You know, the reality is I just want out of here. I only came here to do business. Business is done. And that's when you need to know that it's time for a change. You know, that's when you got to hone in and be able to understand what it is to be. Yes, she got it. See? Yeah, you're good. She didn't even notice. Yeah, brother, of course. She won't even look up. I pointed her the way, and now she's acting like she didn't even notice me. Like, what the fuck is that? So he's gonna show her the rooms. He's gonna come up and gonna do all these things. Look, we're getting a little Korean hottie that's now not being. She got a little naughty body, but she's got that naughty attitude. When first I'm helping her, now she won't even get to see me. It's just one of those things where you try to help people. Look at these. I'm always trying to help people do things, and I was friendly to point her out, but she wasn't friendly to even recognize me and say thank you. This is what I'm talking about. That's when you got to identify, like, people are helping you. It's almost like the guy that goes, hey, ma'am, I got a boyfriend. He's like, you got a flat tire. She's like, can you help me? He's like, go ask your boyfriend, you know? It's your attitude that you put out there in the world that makes the difference in your world, right? So to have a happy world, to have people say hi to you in the road, it behooves you to say what's up to people. And if you're just always constantly got your mean mugging on, I think the world will be mean to you. How do you know it's time for a change? Because you need to be able to have the ability to change you. It's one of these things where you get to redirect your energies and redirect your forces in life. And look at it. Look at that bitch is walking with her bad attitude. Look at that. And I would have told her, look, hey, I'm leaving in a week. If you need a place, you can take mine. But she's got that attitude like, I don't need nobody. After everybody tried to help her. And now she's walking off with her bad attitude. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get rude. You're going to get attitude. And then you're going to have to be just like that, standing all alone. What do I do? Well, you leave. You gently go to where you got to go and go on with your life. And now you walk on the road. Not knowing where you're going to go. And you could have got more information if you're friendlier. Now she's just standing on the road. Like, where do I stay? Well, we probably could have told you, yeah, she's all looking around, totally lost. And now you have no extra information. You've literally cut out your opportunities to have more people tell you where to go and where to stay and where things are if you're friendly with people. If you're just going to be like, I'm going to do it on my own, then you'll be on your own, bro. And then you'll be sitting there with yourself, toes in the sand going, what do I do? How do I motivate you to be a type of person that embraces and drives change inside yourself? Maybe it's a destination like I'm leaving to the next place, but it's also an inner conversation. Man, that pool's looking good though. It's the only time I get to go swim because I'm not swimming in that ocean again. It's all funky. It makes my skin burn. It's all funky. So, being an ambassador to drive change, being a person who doesn't mind changing is really what it's about. Being the type of person that can say, you know what, I've been here too long. I've been at this job too long. But my habit is to get this paycheck, and then that's why I keep coming back. I don't want to get inside because they're blaring the music, and I don't want to get banned, but or violated. And they send me the violations. They'll be like, "Yo, you violated," and I'm like, "It was music in the background." And they're like, "You're demonetized," and I'm like, "I wasn't playing that crazy ass hook on." Uh, my nose is still running. That crazy ass Indian music. No, I'm the one that was just like, I need to come inside and change the environment where it's nice and quiet and cool in my room. I can stare at the view and go like, yeah, I'm comfortable. Yeah, I can afford it. But what's more important is me being able to drive my change, being able to say, I've been here too long, been in this room too long, I've been hanging out in a room, and then it starts to become a prison. Yeah, it's fancy, and yeah, I can open the door, but when I go outside, it's still the same. And whenever things become same, I need to make them different. In Thailand, they go same but different. That's what you're going to ask yourself. Can I do something different? Can I be the type of person that change my mood? You know, I was saying it the other day, but I meant it when I said you can't change the weather, but you can change your mood. You know what I mean? You can change the weather inside of you. And that's probably one of the most powerful things you can do as a human being on this planet is to be able to change the inside of you. I was talking about my friend about depression. She's like, yeah, I met this guy and we've been going for walks and he smokes weed and he's really chill. And I was like, yeah, maybe that's what you need, to get off the booze because it's making you depressed. You're posting like, I want to kill myself on Facebook. It's good to get outside. It's good to get outside of your mind. It's good to move your emotions instead of them move inside of you. Take your emotions for a walk. See if it feels the same after a swim. That's one of the instant mood changes. Going for a swim, I just go out there and instantly my whole vibe changes. And I would go down there, but they're blaring the Indian music. But, if you're always just doing the same, holding a routine, some things I make part of the routine is like the morning motivation. I crack off a half hour of my day and do some morning motivation. But if it's a healthy routine, like going to the gym, or doing your morning motivation, or meeting with friends and getting updates and conversations. Instead, what will end up happening, like I talked with my friend last night, she's like, I haven't talked to these dudes in like 8 months. We'll let time go by and we won't check in. We won't say anything nice to somebody. We won't make it a change to be the first one to reach out. What's up, Cigar? I see you, bro. We'll be the type of person to just want to hold it the same and not do anything to make a change. And then that you're being stubborn. Then you're in your own way. And man, I'm leaving next week, bro. I booked tickets last night, homie. I'm enjoying it here, but I'm just a little bit in the stuck where I'm eating at the same places, seeing the same people, and living on the same beach. It's just way too small for me. I need to get back to my island and be with my peeps and have an opportunity to do a photo shoot with a model for like 12 days. So my plan is to get there early, get there a month early. I thought I was going to stay here because the room was so cheap, but I rather lose the money and get the opportunity. I figured that it was worth the extra $75. It cost me $77 to go to to Thailand in December, but I would have missed the opportunity to do the photo shoot with this model. So I was like, is it worth $75 to have a model that's willing to wear my shirts and make me look good and I can go around She's got a GoPro 12, with 7 different batteries, all the attachments. She rides the motorbike. I was just like, I hate motorbikes. If you want to be the motorbike person, perfect. I'll be passenger princess. I'll be on the back of the bike getting all the beautiful trees and getting to feel the perfectness of this island. When I come here, I can feel the airport. I can feel the pollution in the ocean. I can feel the processing of people. Where I come from, there's no even side of the roads. Here, they got it all paved and got tiles, brick tiles, and all the way. The whole thing has been made for walking up and down, people to process things and go, what are you going to do? Eat some of the same restaurant and the same food? Everybody cooks the same shit. And everything that used to be new loses its nuance, and now it's not so shiny anymore. So to keep the stimulus in my face and to keep me happy, I'm not doing the same. I'm leaving early. I thought I was going to just stay here with my buddy, make sure he's working every day, but I'm looking over his shoulder, making sure he's working when I should be working. And so I looked at my bank account. I had enough money. I just spent another $75 to get another new ticket that was 30 days earlier, and embrace and drive change. Be there in time to go see my friends that are already there and catch the people and do some photo shoots. And I've, like I said, handed out like maybe 6 different stickers yesterday, and I got one chick that was like, what the fuck is this for? Just a hot little Indian chick walking up and down. I was like, just keep it. And then the Russian chick, why'd you give me this? And I might not tag you, and we'll see. Just total trust but verify, like they say in Russia. Just wasn't really so accepting of cool things. And yeah, living in some places monotonous. Yes, good word. Ticket for another city to Vietnam? Nope, to Thailand, man. I'm going straight to Bangkok from this island in a week. Next Thursday, I'm taking off. It's been raining here a lot. That made me not want to stay here so much. The pollution definitely didn't make me want to stay here so much. Why go to a beach when you're swimming with plastic? Literally, I'm like, plastic was in the way. Like, you have to push it away to get out of it, and it makes your skin sting because it's probably got oils and dirts and parasites and shit like that. They got so many trawlers, big ass trawlers, fucking jet skis. None of that things happen where I'm from, so you can actually see the fish around your feet and be able to see to the sand. Is a beautiful thing. It's far enough away. It's still close to Cambodia, but far away enough from China and Vietnam and all the pollution that they have. There was one beach, I call it Plastic Beach, because it was just all styrofoam and plastic and bottle caps and straws. And then you go around the corner where it's the rich area, with the expensive restaurants and the expensive hotels, and they pick up the trash there, but there's still some trash there, and the water still burns your skin. And it's just one of those things where I was just like, you know what? For less than $100, I get a model. I usually pay models $100 to do shoots for me per hour. And here she's going to do all the photo shoots, bring her own camera, drive for me, and I get to stay with her at these luxury resorts and take photos the whole time and film. It's going to be perfect. I was just like, you know what? It's time for me to change, to just suffer here for another month. Yes, I can afford it, and just be in this room, staying the same, never going to do anything different or go to a different part of the beach is just crazy for me. So I'm like, you got to be able to change. That's the hardest part to do, is to fucking get yourself up and change. And most of us don't want to embrace and drive change. And that's when you know it's time for a change. My friend was saying, oh, my sister's in the psych ward because she hates her life. I'm like, why does she hate her life? And she said some shit, internal drama and stuff. But at the same time, it was like, what's she gonna do to change her life? That's the question. What is she actually gonna do about it, instead of just hating on it and going to the psych ward and try to commit suicide in a cemetery? What else is about her and her actions that she can take now to make some of that go away? And that's the real question of life. You know what I mean? Hey, it's Adela. I see you. Yeah, embracing change. Let me read some of these comments. Trying to get this going. Tickets for another city. No, going to Thailand. Oh wow, that's the lovely place and city. Yes, it is. I'm also thinking to go to Bangkok in New Year's. It's visa free for us and cheap flights available from India. There's a lot of India people here. Yes, they're cheap. 55, 60 bucks. See, that's what I'm saying. Cheap tickets, less than $100. I bumped up my trip by 30 days, and I got the model, and I got a place to stay, and I got a chauffeur to take me around the island and go to new places and places I've never seen, and someone that I can talk with and smoke with and sit with, so I'm not sitting alone at the bars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Della, I saw you. Yeah, embracing the change is the most indispensable part of life. You know, change is the only constant in life, but we're the only ones trying to make our comfort constant. You know, every day is a new day to survive and struggle for life. When you're an animal, an insect, you know, a reptile, you still have to run out and get some water. You still have to run out and get some food. You still got to procreate. There's no getting around these three core things. You know, I call it food, clothing, and shelter, like my dad would say. You know, my three bad habits: food, clothing, and shelter. Pretty much same for animals, insects, and the rest of the mammals and insects and reptiles on this planet. You know, they got to do the same. They got to get up and go. I got to go change. I can't just sit here and be the same. What's up, Nali? I see you, bro. um, you have to be able to be the type of person to say, okay, I've been here too long. You know, I wore out this relationship. I wore out my stay, as we used to say in the South, where you can be with some too long. Even when I'm on the other island, even my aunt said you can't go to the same place every day. You know, you'll wear it out. People are going to be like, you're not drinking enough. I don't drink. So they kicked me out a couple bars, and I'm not welcome at a couple of the cool places, you know, and it's just one of those where I just was like, you know what? Maybe I do need to go to a different beach. Maybe I do need to go to different restaurants. Maybe I do need to get out of my own way to go see different places and get my mind in a different mindset and get my vibe on a different track. So I just respent the ticket. It wasn't refundable. I try to get a refund back. They're still going to take 30 euros out of it, whatever the $770. So I might get half of it back, even though I gave them 30-day notice. All I did was bump up my ticket by 30 days. It was a month ahead. At the same airlines at the same time, they still weren't going to give me my refund. So, you know, yeah, I just was just like, I'm over it. I'm going to get the fuck going and, you know, get to see another thing. Any miles from USA? No, this girl's from Germany. She actually has a tattoo that says "Made in Germany" on her ass. So, you know, she's an alternative model. She's got the tattoos and the piercings, and she owns a tattoo and piercing shop in Germany. So she has some money, and she's like, "You can stay with me." And I'm like, "I never been a Cocood before, so there's a booking." And she showed me all the bookings, these fancy hotels, and I was like, "Shit, I'll just come stay with you." There's free rent, free model, and a free taxi. Like I was just like, it's worth the extra $75. So I booked the trip. I'll be leaving in 6 days. Food, clothing, and shelter are basic necessity until it becomes extravagant. Yep, I'm sure you guys know about that in India. You know, we come around here, the food is just so cheap. You know, a bob me for $20, it's less than a dollar. Had 2, 3 eggs in it, came in a toast with the vegetables, delicious. How about the bucks you paid that here? Would be refunded? Yeah, I don't think they're refunding it, bro. I already spent $409 to come from Finland to Vietnam. And when I got stopped at the border and banned from the country and they took my passport, I lost that flight. I immediately asked for a refund that day, and then they still haven't got back to me. They said it's supposed to be 14 days. It's been over 30, and that was $409. Plus, you add the $75 or $79 I just did on the other one. It's almost $500 in wasted flight tickets that I could have spent differently. Man, I could have eaten some sushi. I could have done some trips and done some things, and that's what I think I'm going to do today to embrace and drive change, is just get on the bus and ride it around, see wherever it takes me. You know, I haven't really seen much of this island, and now that I got less than a week to see it, it's given me more impetus to appreciate it and go rent a bike. I've been trying to get miles up early and take me around and be my taxi because I don't do motorbikes anymore, and get us around the island and go see some of the things, be a little tourist and photog. Well, I guess not today, because today is my friend's birthday, and I got to go pick up the cake and blow up the balloons and all those things and make it feel special. We might do some acid tonight, so maybe that'll be a good switch up for me. You know what I mean? Something else in my brain. Everybody goes, "Why do you do acid and psychedelics?" It's good to reuptake your serotonin and your dopamine levels. It's good to have an introspective journey because we live inside of our skin and our minds for so long. This will be an embrace and drive change moment. We're gonna do some acid tomorrow and or tonight and hang out with my friend for her birthday and all these different things. So it's going to be fucking cool to just hang out with the people that we know. It's kind of like a goodbye party for me. You know what I mean? Because I leave in a week, which is like nothing. It's a snort of time. I might as well just wake up tomorrow and be like, shit, I got to pack and go. But yeah, it's time to go. I'm going to try to get as many models while I'm here to model for me. I handed out 2 designs to Joey yesterday. She's also a tattoo model, big chest, Vietnamese girl, and natural boobs. She's fucking got big titties for a Vietnamese girl, but she got a skinny little waist, lots of tattoos. She's got the bow on the back of the tramp stamp, so she's a little hottie naughty, and I love her modeling style. So I was like, let her pick out 2 designs, and I'm like, yo, find the shirts. We got to do that this week. So hopefully I can cram in Joey as a model this week. Maybe this other girl, Lena, she's really hot. She works out like every day. She's got milfy qualities about her from Canada. And then who else? I gave up on Stevie. She's just too much. Some people you can only take so far. So I made her shirt. She complained, and then I got a picture of her holding up the sticker. So that's enough for me. So skip that. And then the German girl that I met, the Lisa girl, she said, "Oh, I feel sick. I don't think I'm gonna do it today." And then next thing I know, she's sending me a picture from the airport, bro. So you got to hit it while the getting's good. Get as many models and photos that I can while I'm here in Vietnam. Eat some cool food. I'm probably gonna take the bus one of these days to the night market, the fish market. Yep. And then I'm gonna just get my 60 days when I land. You get 60 free days, 2 free months in Thailand. I'm going to use my 60 days and then a 30-day extension. I was looking to get my visa. I did all the stuff on the e-visa site and they deleted it. They delete all the incomplete visas after 14 days. So I've been working on this thing, getting all my bank statements together and accommodation and answering all the questions and uploading all the forms, only for them to just delete it like that. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go with the flow. I got a place to stay with the model. She wants to shoot and film. I'm down to go do the waterfall shoot. I've been asking to do that and manifest that for the last 2 years. I'm like, I want to get a hot model under the waterfall, so that's going to be fucking super dope. And she got her own business. She's got her own money. She's going to be my driver too. I just booked it. My buddy said, it's nothing. $77, man, that's nothing. Well, you're walking away from a room that keeps you closed, your own prison. Sure, you pay $220 a month to keep it, but it made it a prison for me. And then I'm like, well, my place isn't going to be available where I want to stay. Well, so what? I can stay with her, And then what was the other part that was holding it up? That this was becoming boring for me. That I didn't want to go into this ocean every day, and it's just covered with chairs that they charge you 100,000 dong for, like $4 to rent out a space on the sand, and the sand has plastic, and they overcharge for the food on the beach, and I just became too routine. And that's why you have to be the type of person to embrace and drive change, say, I don't want to do this every day, and mix it up. I was comfortable in Finland. I said, I'm going to mix it up. So I did. And now I'm here. And then I've been here for too long. It's time to go to Thailand. And after I'm done to go to Thailand, I'm going to get back on the island. And I got a future Thai girl that wants to model for me too up in Ayutthaya. So I can mail her a shirt and just keep spreading my shirts. Spreading my brands, going live, traveling the world, going to do cool things. If I get on the bus, I'll go live. If I go down the cable cars, I'll go live. See more of this island before I leave, just to get a coverage of it and get off of it and get done with Vietnam. I just didn't feel the vibe that I feel there in Thailand. I don't feel the friendliness. I don't feel the cleanliness. I don't feel the advancements, like Thailand's doing it right. Everything's kind of brand new. They have a business district. They have a BTS. They have a tram, a sky tram in the air to get everybody to the airport and wherever business district or streets they need to go. It's cheap. It's efficient. Their food's really good. I prefer it over Vietnamese food. Call me crazy, but I do. And, it's just what I do. I move myself when it's time to go. I got to go, but it's a lovely experience to meet and greet. Great loss before buddies and great lots PF buddies from around the world. Lots of buddies from around the world. Yep, met a lot of people. How's your experience, by the way, from shifting global south countries, ultra rich like USA, Finland, Norway, Denmark, to global north, all Asian countries? Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a difference between Western civilization, first world countries, and third world countries. I like to say that, Cambodia is more like a fourth world country, and probably Africa is more like a fifth world country. You notice by the toilets, notice by the cleanliness of the water, the amount of pollution, population, how the haves and have-nots, the differences. Are people still living in shacks and shitting in holes? Well, then you're in the fifth world, But there still be a place like Rio in Brazil, which is definitely fourth world, where people are still stealing things, and there's the favelas and things like that. And then you get to third world, like here, where there might be some black mold in the corner, and I think there was a crack somewhere in the frame, and this thing's made out of bricks, and just sheds on top of bricks. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some metal on top of brick. There it is. This is a good example. And all these things are just made out of some janky ass hand mixed concrete that they just estimated by shovelful. So not everything's uniform. And then when you go on the street, there's always pollution, and that pollution runs straight to the ocean. And then second world, which was like, kind of what I think Thailand's come to, with having their kind of still having street food, and still having crazy traffic, but also having established cool shit that's going on. And I think that's important, like Siam Paragon and IMAX 3D, and you know what I mean. There's no IMAX here in Vietnam, so maybe in Ho Chi Minh, but so polluted, so many motorbikes, and so uncomfortable. It's not a cool city. So yeah, and then you go to first world like Finland, where there's an abundance of everything, and all the bathrooms are clean, and there's no trash on the ground, and people exercise every morning, but it costs almost like 15 euros to have a meal every time you're trying to eat. So first world to fifth world, that's how I estimate it. That's Travel by Saints. That's some free advice for you. I gotta go. Peace and love. And as always, Chi Gatan. That means goodbye, but not forever, and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But the other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Peace.